Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of a range test with the DJI MINI 2. So if you haven't seen the first part, go and check it out. It'll be in the description down below. But what I'm doing is testing the DJI MINI 2 in a stress test environment. So today, the weather conditions were good. We only got 10-mile-an-hour winds, and it's really rare to actually get a good to fly indicator on the UAV app. So that's going to be a good sign, isn't it? So let's set off again. I'm just going to be flying the opposite direction again from my house. I'm stood directly outside of the house, so I'm in an area where there's going to be lots of Wi-Fi interference from the buildings surrounding me. So I know you're not going to be flying like this all the time, and you're not going to want to fly in areas where there's such high interference, but I wanted to put this under a test to see what the 2.0 Ocusync's like compared to the Mavic Mini 1. Now when I used to fly this with the Mavic Mini 1, it would have so many dropouts, it was unbearable to even attempt to fly around the area I lived. But the Ocusync 2.0 on this DJI Mini 2 seems to be doing fairly well and a good job. So yesterday, I got just under 900 meters, and then on a second attempt, I got 1,188. So it will be interesting to see, with the wind today being a lot less than yesterday, can the range of this Mini 2 get a little bit further with that Ocusync 2.0? So I'm flying it into the wind so then I can have the abilities to get back from a distance with the wind helping that drone to get back to me. So the flight path I'm going to be going is I'm going to be going to that large building to the north there, and then I'm going to be turning slightly to the right hand side and then heading to those houses just in the distance to the right hand side. We are now approaching a tram track and that large building is to the left, and the signal is full bars still. It's just crept down actually to 4 bars, just under 600 meters. So far it's looking really good. You get a nice 4K picture out of it, the quality is nice, and that signal is doing okay at the moment. Now today is really sunny, so I have put on an ND filter, and I will be doing another video showing you the different ND filters you can use on this Mini 2 and the different times you should use one. So today, with it being really bright, having this ND filter on just takes away some of that sun glare and enables this picture to be really crisp and nice. So a lot of interference now. We've got a large building to the left hand side, tram track directly underneath us, so the interference is really strong and bad. So that is affecting obviously the RC signal in the corner you'll see at 1,000 meters just approaching. So we're still low at 50 meters. So what I'm now going to do is a send, so that will now take away some of that signal interference because we were a bit lower. It is a lot smoother the higher you get, and you will get a better signal. The downside to that, as you've just seen, is now you will be encountering more wind. So we just got our first wind one in there, but we'll just slowly increase that height. And then if you look in the top right hand corner now, the RC signal is getting slightly stronger. So if you are facing lots of RC dropouts and you're flying in an awful environment like this, then just check and see what heights you are actually at, and if need be, increase that altitude. I'm still thinking that the footage coming from this Mini 2 is such a big upgrade over that Mavic Mini 1. You're not seeing it fully on YouTube because it will compress it, but when you see this direct out of the memory card, you can tell that difference. The quality is a lot stronger. So just look down at that distance. We're now at 1,300 meters, flying direct outside my house in areas of huge interference. So that is really good. You're not really going to need any more than that in this area flying day to day. I'm just testing it for you just to show how good this Ocusync is performing. So at nearly 1,500 meters, this is when it starts to go really wrong and bad, but luckily you'll see it does rectify itself. So 1,500 meters away in this area, I think is really good. It can get a lot more than this in an outdoor area away from interference. We all know that, and it should do that. and it can. But in an area like this where there is lots of interference, so long as you are at a decent height, you can get a good range from this Mini 2 using this Ocusync. So it is an advantage, and it is a lot better than that Mavic Mini 1. It gives you a bit more confidence to fly. So now the signal is starting to drop a lot in that top corner. We're at just short of 1800 meters urban test from my house, and they were getting a weak signal error message, and the RC signal now is flashing red. So we will completely lose signal now. So it's done 1806 meters. This is when it starts to go a bit wrong. There is no responsiveness whatsoever on the app. It's just almost crashed. This is what you're seeing live, what I saw now. So it should now put it into automatic return to home mode, and it doesn't. So I have to instigate it myself. I've never actually seen it do this before. Normally you can see the height and distance in the bottom, but on this occasion the screen is just blank, and normally now you would hear the return to home indicator going off, but there's nothing. The whole app is just crashed, and this is live, so it's a good 10-15 seconds before I actually regain any kind of connection back to that drone. If you ever face something similar to this, if you click on the map in the bottom left hand corner, you can actually see if the drone is returning, but there's just no signal coming back to the receiver. And in this instance, it actually was doing that. It is returning back to me. If you look at that distance now, it was at 1726 and it's now at 1631. So it is actually flying back to you. You just can't see it at all. So if you bring that map up, it does tend to then give you a better idea of where that drone is. But it is flying back to me, so the return to home features work really well on this drone. So in an area where there's going to be strong interference, you can still get that drone back. It's obviously just a bit touchy when you actually do lose that signal. Even with experience, you always are a bit worried, am I going to get that drone back or not? So the distance we could get today, I'm happy with. I'm not going to be flying like this all the time. I wanted to test to see if there was an improvement over the Mavic Mini 1. Now this Mini 2 is using the Ocusync, and it can definitely see the difference. That signal is much more stable, and you can fly much further without signal dropouts. So the Ocusync's an improvement, and it also makes this drone an excellent drone, and currently it's a drone that I am picking up all the time to take out with me flying. So I think anyone's going to like this, and I think it's going to be a really popular drone for not only beginners but also for those experienced flyers who just want something really portable and easy to use. So again, once again, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.